Hey, Rich, we can see you, just so you know. We just can't hear you.
Would you rather not see me?
Oh, no, 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 you're fine.
I'm not sure how much I can participate here anyway.
All right, everyone will be over in a minute. I'll turn the camera on.
Hey, Rich.
Hello.
I was sitting here working on the SBJSA website.
Ah, very exciting.
We're almost ready to go live with everything.
Oh, good.
So probably Monday. I was up there this week. I'm down in Florida, in Isla Mirada, and my furnace quit.
Oh,
I had to fly home to snowy Sodas Point.
Can you guys hear me?
yep.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Hey guys, how y'all doing this evening?
Very
Good.
good.
Hey, thanks Phil. Thanks for this reminder.
You're welcome.
But Phil told me you better get, so Brandon Martin's on, Doug Cleveland's on, I'm on.
This is the town board meeting going on now?
Yeah.
You can't hear with that damn music.
You can't turn it off.
I got a little bit more angled everything.
A little slanted, man.
Can you see it?
Paul, moving to order. Say the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America,
and
to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll do roll call. We have trustee Nowak,
Yes.
trustee Madison,
Yes.
CEO Ruschel,
Yes.
and I'd like to introduce Amy Kendall,
Hello.
our lawyer. And let's go to reports. Oh no, let's go to public comments. Any public comments?
So those guys aren't technically here then? Okay.
Not hearing any, we don't have any old business, so let's go to. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped reports. What am I doing? Apologize. Did a little reverse on 2 and 3. Okay. I'll start off with my report.
Attended a NICOM conference in Albany, February 1 through the 3rd, participating in a variety of workshops for mayors and municipal officials. I met with the Army Corps of Engineers in Buffalo. They're looking to getting a waiver from the DEC to continue work on the east break wall in April or May. They would have had to wait till like July or something, just due to the fishing things of the bay, but they're looking to get that so they can restart, and we're probably looking at a couple more months for that. Huron officials, Don Riling from Save Our Sodas and myself are traveling to Buffalo to meet with the engineers to discuss funding and the start date for the work on the west break wall, which would probably be late in the fall. On 2/11, John Woodland and I had a Zoom meeting with the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation to discuss funding for water, wastewater projects. We didn't do anything in particular. It was just a kind of point of reference. We got to meet different organizations and what they have available. And John and I will just continually look at that site and look at what's available to us in this next calendar year. No news on the New York Forward grant. Hoping that's any day now. Our current savings rate is 3.4%, just so you know. Possible budget dates, I think you're going to get an email from Tracy. Right now, tentatively, I think it's March 5th and March 12th. But the trustees will check your emails. I think she's going to send it. If she hasn't sent it out, she's going to send it out.
No, I got it.
Okay, good. And department heads, let's get your monthly reports in as soon as you can to Tracy on a monthly basis, just because we can get the board packet going a little bit sooner. And that helps so the trustees have an opportunity to, take a look at the information, instead of late, okay? And a friendly reminder to the department heads that the budget requests are due tomorrow. I think our due date was at the end of tomorrow, so get those in and so we can proceed in this year's budget process. Okay, that's all I have. Let's do Kevin. Want to do yours?
So for January, I had 5 new building permits issued. We had 3 new reviews that we wrapped up on. Total fees generated was $1031.40. I assisted John and the other public works guys with multiple water leaks. I finished my floodplain audit, which is with the DEC. Responded to that. I have a checklist of things I have to get back to them by May. I finished the boundary annexation report with the Census Bureau. I finished updating the assessment records with Nathan. So that's our digital permits for the last year. That got over to the assessor. And then I started working on my 1203, which is the state audit. And then I started working on my land use survey with Genesee Land Council.
Okay.
And those will be done this week.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
Is John?
Yeah, he's on.
Can we hear him?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, John.
How you doing?
Good. You want to do your report?
Yeah, so for the highway, I had snow and ice or snow and cold have continued to be the story, obviously, so far this season. The guys at the highway are up to 49 days of plowing snow, often making multiple runs a day. This acclimated to a total of 2,528 miles on the road. And then just with the weather, we've faced some additional maintenance and repairs, some stuff with plows and that kind of thing that we've taken care of. On top of that, I've been starting to meet with contractors, work on some road projects, just trying to get on their schedule as early as possible. And I'll have more information regarding that for the next board meeting. We'll probably have some stuff that'll, go to the board and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then Matt Nowak and myself worked to secure some quotes for sidewalk clearing machines, as we talked about at the last meeting. So we have some data on that. And then for the water, our usage for the month of January was at 1,678,906 gallons. We're going to be out reading meters again in the beginning of March, so we can, see how that coincides with what we accounted for usage with our reads. That's going to be a little misconstrued, probably because we did have quite a few leaks, after meters and, before meters, and we'd had quite a few after the meters too. The cold weather mainly was to blame for that. I mean, a lot of water lines that weren't properly protected with heat tape or insulated. So sometimes it would take a day or two for them to pop up because a lot of them were in crawl spaces or under houses, or maybe residents weren't there and didn't realize what was happening. And then we typically get a call. But working with the Village of Sodus water guys, we would see it in the usage. So when they were saying, hey, your usage is kind of creeping up, nothing major, but, could be a service somewhere. It's typically in the day or two following, we'd get a phone call from somebody that, they found a leaking pipe or a burst pipe under their house or wherever be it. There. And then as the weather permits, we're still going to continue doing those meters. We actually just got a couple of the commercial meters in, so I'm going to work with Kevin on that and probably Melanie, because there's a couple things we need to do different with a couple accounts regarding commercial meters.
Okay.
So we're going to be trying to work on that as hopefully the weather lightens up a little bit. That's what I had for water. I didn't know if Phil wanted to take over on the wastewater from Josh Craig or.
Yeah, I can read Josh's report if you'd like.
Thanks, Phil.
In Josh's words, last month was really busy. Made it through the holidays with very few issues. Survived the extreme cold and very snowy weather. Flows at the plant have been pretty steady for this time of year, which I'm correlating it to being consistent. All lab tests were completed and passed. We've had more alarms at the Culver Street over the last few weeks, and had to replace a sensing probe with a new transducer. Calasino was finally able to get this done. They've been talking about for a while. This really stems back to that pump station collecting most of our fogs, our fats, oils, and greases, which mostly all of our restaurants flow to that station. So we really, just reiterating before we have to really start getting to the source of the grease and making sure all our grease interceptors that are at our restaurants are being cleaned regularly, so that it's not passing through into our into our sanitary system. BDP, our press manufacturer, came out and repaired the press as per our approval at a previous meeting. So we began pressing again, kind of just in time as our digester was full. So John and Josh had a little bit of work to do with the polymer pump that injects the polymer into that process to make the solids. It hasn't been ran in quite a while, so the pump was gummed up, so they had to get that taken apart and cleaned up. They did that in-house and were able to get that going. Josh has been in contact with our DEC rep and is working on our descriptive data survey and annual flow report. And that's all been pretty good stuff. The bad part of his report, Monday 2/16, he returned from a weekend off to do the daily test on the holiday and found that our digester was overflowing and somehow filled itself up. Part of this problem was the result of the press being down for so long, which resulted in the digester being pretty much at capacity for weeks. They were able to pump some out and put it in our east digester. Not ideal, but trying to avoid hauling that liquid and save the village a bunch of money and costs. So not exactly sure if they were able to figure out exactly what happened there, but it was kind of an aberration. It happened overnight is what I was told, and wasn't anyone's doing. It just happened. The only thing they can do in the meantime is run the press as much as possible to lower our digester level, which they're doing. Josh has had to book a lot of hours between the Clover Street situation, getting the press running and, starting to lower that digester. So his overtime has been more than normal. He's going to try and run that press round the clock starting Monday. And then he notes that the man hours are cheaper than hauling the liquid and hauling a contractor, and having a big bill at the landfill, which they're very limited on how much of our solids they can take. I'm also happy to report he attended Buffalo State for 2 weeks and passed his course. Needed to move forward to take the state ABC test, which will help us lower our costs in the future, not having to hire a contractor. We are going to need a second person license. So, hopefully John or if we have to hire another person, but we're working forward towards compliance. This month, he's going to return for a 2-day review prior to taking his ABC exam with the state. He's also going to go to water class the end of the month to get his C license to go with the D water license with the Department of Health to certify him. So that'll be great to have, a person on staff license for our water supply also. So we're getting where we need to be, which is great. He's getting quotes for the South Shore pump station repair, working on our east reactor to push it to get it ready to come online in the spring. And he's been relying on TNT and John while he focused on getting his schooling and licensing stuff behind him. So lots of things happening in wastewater, a lot of things that have been put off for too long that, we're getting covered. So progress is happening, which is great. And that's that.
Thanks, Phil. And congratulations to Josh for sure, for the step. We got a couple more steps to go, but pretty excited about that.
I think he was working tonight.
Was he?
I could see the gate open, so I think somebody's working.
Yeah, it was definitely an issue with that digester. So
Yeah, thank you.
You're
welcome. Trustee Noack, yours is kind of done.
Mine's pretty much done, yeah, but just reiterate, like John's trying to get quotes to do Lake Road. We're getting set up to do the paving at Willow Park. And we already have our quotes for the sidewalk machine, so we're ready to go.
Good.
Getting there.
Yeah, that sounds good. Trustee Madison.
For the fire department, since mid-January, there have been 4 calls. These calls included responses to automated fire alarms, a water problem, and a wire problem. The fire department does weekly trainings, and I'll talk about this later on. I'm just intro. Weekly trainings on Thursdays. During the winter, a significant portion of their training focuses on ice and cold water rescue, because that's kind of our niche for the fire department. As of now, 90% of the active members of the fire department are New York State Ice Rescue certified. Mark Jones, our chief, has reported, though, that 4 out of the 10 ice rescue suits are leaking. So anyway, I'll discuss that a little bit further down on the thing. Ambulance, Silver Waters had 4 calls for the month of January, with 2 of them being billable. It is likely that there will be CPR classes here in Sodas Point, probably next month in March. Stay tuned on that. It's not for sure yet, but we have somebody who is certified to teach. Keith is certified to teach, and he can take a class up to 10 people. Phil had asked me about financials. And I know anyway, I'll just kind of briefly go through it. People possibly don't understand how our ambulance runs, and I've learned some new things today, which are not in my report totally, but the village pays for medics 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, year round, except in the winter. On the weekends, they do this thing they call the scramble, where they can come on if there's a need, and if not, they don't. And that amounts to less than 8 hours a day. Okay, so We're covered every day, pretty much. For the last 2 summers, we have approved a second person for the summer, which makes a full crew. A crew is a medic and then somebody else, either a second medic or a driver, somebody who's trained as a driver. Additionally, we have people here in the village. In the last 2 meetings, I brought 2 volunteers forward who wanted to volunteer. They were medics, or in one case, they were a paramedic. But so anyway, they volunteer at no cost to the village. Sodas Point contracts with EMS Staffing. It's a company in Newark which hires, schedules, and pays the medics. So the village does not pay the medics directly. It's paid by EMS Staffing and reimbursed from the village. And the ambulance company is a nonprofit, the Silverwater Ambulance itself. The area, so Silverwater's ambulance is limited by the area that it is assigned. Everybody is assigned, and this comes from the state, okay? And the area is the village of Sodas Point and all the way west to Maxwell Road and all the way south to Glover Road, and then coming up 14 till we get to Sodas Point property. Silver Waters is specialized. We've got hypothermia gear and stuff that the other fire departments, even around the bay, do not have. The other thing I would say with the Silver Waters is that if there is an ice or water emergency, Silver Waters is supposed to be called also. That gets sometimes tricky because sometimes, you give an address, say it's off of, Sill Road or something like that. And they see that as Sill Road. It's a road. It's not the water. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky there. But I know they've been working on that. And by the way, I'd like to introduce, we have here in the audience, we have Sherry Kalush, who's the treasurer of the Silver Waters, and we have Tom Pikunka, who is the president and a medic, one of our medics. So hopefully you see his face just, in a room like this and not looking down at you when you're on the ground or something like that, But
Either way, say hi.
Pardon?
Either way, say hi.
Either way, yeah, if you're able, But anyway, I do have some numbers here. There's a lot of numbers. It's number heavy. I just want to say before I get into numbers real quick, in the last year and a half, we've had 4 people in Sodas Point. We've had 4 incidents where people's hearts have stopped completely. And if nothing were done, they would not survive. That's not survivable. So they've got to be, brought back to whatever. Luckily, due to quick actions from bystanders and ambulance in several of those cases, and I know, Tom, you were at least involved with one of those cases. Yeah, you're there within minutes, and that's the beauty of having an ambulance right here in Sodas Point. Those 4 people are alive today, so it's minutes and seconds count. And when you're 3 minutes out or 2 minutes out from the ambulance here versus coming from Sodas or wherever they're coming from, so our ambulance service is just like the fire department protects our homes and families. Our ambulance service stands ready to protect our health and our lives. Supporting our local ambulance means investing in safety, security, peace of mind for everybody. It is, there is a cost to it, and due to the area that Silver Waters is restricted to, it's not the kind of thing where you say, well, look, let's get some more business. That's kind of not the way you want to look at it that way, but meaning in that area, we're limited as to how many, calls that we're going to have. Several years ago when the ambulance took over when Sodas Stack went down or ceased operations, and they were, all over the place. That was a banner year. In the past, they've been able to just about break even. It's getting tougher these days. The numbers, and I know we're going to talk about this again at another date, Phil, but But just so people know what we're talking about, for the fiscal year, Sodas Point fiscal year, June 24 to May 25th, the income from responses, or, money that was paid back from insurance, which is very slow. You don't always get, 80, I'm just going to really summarize these numbers, $86,000. The expenses were 110,000. Okay. The ambulance loan, the village is paying for the ambulance. It's a 2.5% loan. We're going to be on year number 3 of 8 years. Each year we pay $22,000 on the principal and interest on that. And I've got the details there if somebody needs it. For the year 25-26, going to be on year number 3 of 8 years. Each year we pay $22,000.
There you go. Sorry.
Yes, we pay $22,000, which means each year you pay a little bit less on interest and a little bit more on the principal. For this current year, with 7 months of data on that, the income is 41,000, expenses 79,000. All right. The ambulance loan again will be 22,000 in May. Breaking it down by month, I've just got 2 months here, and it's all over the board. You may get paid, the village may get paid 6 months later, 9 months later. This past December, our income was $6,000. Our expenses were $7,500. This January, our income was $1,800. Our expenses were $7,000. So a big difference on that. It just varies. But I think we'll discuss some of this during our budget. And does anybody have any questions, I should say?
Public
No, I
comment.
appreciate you getting that data. I was just curious what our monthlies
Yep.
looked like, and there's no arguing the fact that the value of someone's life and saving someone's life in the village. And I wasn't prying at that. I was just curious. I know they generate revenue, and even if they don't get paid for 6 months, I mean, having monthly revenue against expenses, it's just good for the public to know and us to know as a board. I mean, we're in charge of the fiscal responsibility of the village, and if we're paying for this equipment and that, it'd be good to know and keep us abreast of what's going on. And I think the public needs to know that too. Especially someone whose life's been saved. I mean, when it comes time for fundraising and that, they may be more apt to donate more money to the ambulance. So,
Yeah.
if we have a shortfall or whatever, or we need more equipment, I think it's helpful for the community to know and be transparent about it. So, thank you for getting those numbers. I appreciate it.
Yep. And if there's a lot of numbers, a lot of information. If anybody's got any questions, audience, wherever, get it to me and we can get those answers, whether we come back at the next meeting or at our budget, as we talk about that, let's, we're certainly open to whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just like even with John with the water department, I asked him to add in his report, how many millions of gallons are we using monthly of our water, just to give us some metrics, so we're not in the dark, and the public can know too. It's good to know, if you're using 1.6 million gallons in the winter, and summertime we go to 4 million gallons a month. I mean, and we get billed for that, so it's good to know what our expenses are.
No, that's true. It's good. No,
Yeah.
that's good, Phil. So
I appreciate your work on that and
Yep.
reporting that.
I apologize for the long report.
No, thanks for the info. We already did public comment, but I'll come back again because I did it a little bit out of order. So
Pat, did you approve the minutes from last month yet?
No.
no,
No.
not yet.
All right.
Yes.
I'll just say, I'm Tom Pike from the Village for those that don't know me. Been Soda Water since 2008 when the one thing that's changing, obviously, we have the Wayne County EMS program. Our call volume has been going down the past 2 years. And in the past, we've been able to do 200 to 300 calls. When Sodas County Ambulance was going down, we did like over 300 calls. And financially, we had a good year. Most years in the past, we've been able to cover our operating budget. We haven't been paying on the village provides ambulance, but we've been able to cover our $110,000 operating budget plus or minus a couple grants. What's changing is we're currently at a $45,000 deficit. And I'm thinking that we're gonna probably, by the end of the year, be closer to maybe 75,000. I want to make you aware of that because this is a big change now. And, you have to be expecting that. I was reading an article in October by Wayne County EMS Director, Jim Lee. And he was quoted in there, that article saying that, like Sodas Point, there's a third-party billing company. And he said that we're only covering 25% of our expenses. So Wayne County EMS is a not-for-profit, and they're getting reimbursed maybe 25 expenses. In the past, we've been able to cover quite a bit. Currently, out of our $110,000 budget, we're at about $45,000 deficit. So we're covering 50%. I don't want to say that that deficit is good, but we've been doing better than the 25. But I just want to make you aware of that. In the future, it looks like we're going to be running a deficit, which I'm not used to.
Okay. Yeah, especially as we enter a budget process, budget year process, it's good to know generally where you're coming out,
Yeah, the new facility on like 88 or something, they're taking most of the calls.
Yeah,
Well, they
so,
have 4 facilities.
yeah, there's
One Sodas.
So they're taking away our calls.
No, they aren't taking away our calls. We still cover, we get toned out first at Sodas Point. We have a certificate of need from like Maxwell to Emerald Point to North Geneva Christian Hospital. That's our area. We get called first. And then we have mutual aid agreements in the surrounding communities. We are getting those calls in the surrounding communities because Wayne County is picking up those calls.
Sure. Yeah.
So our call volume is down, our income is down, and the insurance companies, I don't understand why they only pay 25. I thought it was 30, around 30% of the reimbursements. So it's all over the board. It's tough to really get a handle on our income. We know our expenses, our contractual expenses are about 30,000. That's like fuel and ambulance supplies. And the other $80,000 is our paid medic 8 hours a day. Yeah. We're pretty lean. We can't trim that budget unless we trim hours.
Okay, thank you.
Real quick, so the ambulance loan is independent of the expenses then, correct?
Yeah, yes, our operating
Yes.
budget is doesn't include that $22,000 payment.
Yeah, it's around 22,000 annually still, and it's separate.
Okay,
It's
good information.
I'd like to do the approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve January 15th?
I have one change before we do that. Under the de-icer, our Dwight, the attorney, said that it was all right not to issue permits for our permitted de-icers. De-icers are permitted, but we don't have to issue permits. But he did say that we need to do inspections and keep records of it. So,
But that's not a motion or anything.
no, it's just that but what's reflected in the minutes is not what he told us. The attorney advised us we do need to keep records of the inspections.
Yes, sir, permitted, and then, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, that, Kevin's work needs to be documented.
Yeah, okay.
He did say that, and so that needs to be added, and there was supposed to be an email blast, and Carly was supposed to put something out, pretty quickly, and neither of those things happened. I did do something after 2 weeks. I posted something on the village website, but I don't know what got lost in translation, but the email blast didn't go out, and the same thing, Kevin said we were going to make sure we did exactly what we did last year, and it just didn't happen. So it's not too late to do it. We still have ice on the bay. We still have winter. So if we could get those two things done, that would be great.
Email blast.
So Pat, I said that I was gonna do it when I felt comfortable, same time as last year.
Yeah.
And then for some reason an e-blast went out on Facebook, so I didn't do it.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know
No,
why.
Kevin, I waited 2 weeks. All right. We had a meeting. And it was 2 weeks later. I just posted the Finger Lakes Times. So you didn't do the email blast, and you didn't have Carly do the Facebook post that you said you were going to do. So that's all. All right. So just,
We'll
the minutes should reflect that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make. a motion
What changes?
With
the change.
With change, yeah. Second.
Three.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, carried. Thank you. On to new business. We wanted to discuss, we had a discuss around the commercial dock fees. I don't think they've been well looked at or reacted to in 30 years. So I thought we would have a bit of a discussion of possibly increasing the dock fees. I think they're at 10 cents linear foot now. I thought maybe we'd talk about, increasing that to what?
Is that like Krenzers and stuff like that?
Yeah, the commercial.
So any of the marinas that we send, so any of the commercial docks that we inspect, they're 10 cents per linear foot. The current collection that we do is 26.47 and 10 cents. Talking with Pat, if you raised it to 20 cents per linear foot, that would go to $5,141.20. That would be just a straight 20 cents instead of 10 cents per linear foot. If you guys want to do 25 cents, that would bring the fees up to $6,410.55. It just hasn't been adjusted in, from what I can tell, 30 years.
Many years?
33 years.
Wow. I know they charged me a little bit more the last couple of years.
Yeah, so it's just
Either.
that every couple of years I go out my wheel, I check the linear footage to see what's changed, check the safety of it. I usually do it when I do the fire inspection. That's what I try to do. It hasn't changed. Everything else has changed.
Yeah, I thought at a minimum that we would look at moving to 20 cents. That I wasn't really looking at 25 or 30. I thought first move would maybe go to 20 cents, which would bring in like 5,100 compared to the 26 that we are now.
I mean, the only.
Well, I don't know what you guys think.
Well, the only way that we wouldn't raise it if they're still charging the same things they were charging for years.
What'd you say?
We wouldn't raise the price if they're charging the people the same price.
Right, I mean, that would be like, why would
Just even postage, I mean, think about what, we have to
Right.
mail.
I mean, I know
for
for 2 years I got
alone,
jacked up
just to
pretty.
mail that.
Well,
out.
yeah, it's happened,
So
I don't think
I
this.
mean, unless they're charging the same price they were 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I think we can jack them up a little bit.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening, but.
What do you think, Kathy?
No, I think that's good. I had a thought and it slipped right out when you were saying what you were saying there. We'll come back in a minute.
I mean, they can come in
So
here.
let's, I have a thought on this. So Kevin, how long does it take you to do your dock inspections?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to interrupt because we have people on Zoom and we didn't notify the public in advance
About this.
about the people being on Zoom. we really can't have you talking, unfortunately. In the future, what we need to do is advertise the Zoom address in our meeting notice that goes out to the public. So unfortunately, like, we can't take comments from board members that are on Zoom tonight, unfortunately.
I
And that means
notified,
that we have to, it's not about you notifying, it's about, the village notifying the public, because the public has the
So
right to
who-
be at any, excuse me, the public
who
has the right
failed to
to
do it
be at.
then? Because who failed, Amy, to do this? Because I sent my
Can I just
email
finish my thought,
before the
please?
agenda came out, so.
Phil,
Phil,
As a
Trustee-
trustee, an elected
trustee-
official, I
wait.
don't care. I notified
Trustee Leon,
before,
trustee Leon.
well before
Go
the
ahead.
agenda went
Go
out.
right now.
It's not my problem. I'm an elected official and I want to be heard.
I just have to warn him and then I can mute him.
Yep.
I asked before
Yeah.
and then I
I'm-
asked to have.
I'm sorry, we could talk about this at
Yeah.
another time.
Yeah,
But-
well,
Unfortunately, we weren't able to give the 72-hour notice that's required to the public through the media.
and they,
So, and to the extent
this
that we
needs to be
wanna put
tabled.
stuff, I'm sorry, you're gonna.
So I just have to
Yeah.
warn him and then I
Yeah.
can mute.
Yeah.
So Pat, if you warn someone, I can mute him once you warn him.
yeah. So we talked about this before, that you weren't gonna be able to, and you were fine with that.
Well,
So,
no, we weren't gonna be able to vote. You didn't say that we couldn't participate in the meeting, Pat.
both discussion and that, so,
So if you warn him, then I
yeah.
can.
Well, Pat, then you should table this because I notified you
Well, I'm
exactly
gonna
what
be,
I was
I'm
supposed
gonna be
to.
honest,
Well,
yeah, I,
Yeah,
Well, I do-
right.
no, I don't mind that, Phil, yeah.
Well, let me
And-
table everything
And
else.
honestly, if I could,
Yeah,
that was what I was gonna say, anything that we
You really
need to
shouldn't have been-
discuss.
yeah,
We can table, of course, these commercial dock fees, to the extent any of you have a personal conflict, an ethical conflict with voting on that, you're gonna have to disclose it before we vote, because if it financially impacts you, the public needs to know that as well. So that, it's perfectly fine if we
Yeah.
postpone any of these votes.
yeah, so let's not go.
Yeah.
So we at least had some discussion, and then, when Rich and Phil are
Yeah.
back, you could have more of a discussion, and then
Absolutely.
then we'll vote for it.
So can I get direction though on one thing? Cause I usually send these out in January. I postpone this. So if I push it out till March, is that what the board wants me to do? Cause these normally go out January.
Yeah, I think we'll have to.
Yeah, let's do that.
So you want this postponed again? Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine. I just wanna know, cause this is gonna push it up even further.
yeah, in case there's any question, yeah, we needed more time just to have all the trustees
I
here.
mean,
right?
during a holiday, honestly, we shouldn't really be here. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
holiday week.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, it's almost like 4th of July.
yeah,
People,
that's a good point.
really. You
Okay.
guys are off Monday, so you couldn't put the stuff on.
No, it was,
Yeah,
it was
right. So, I
a,
mean, it's,
I've never been.
I had a couple
This is this is new. All right, so we tabled that for next month, okay? We also, under new business, we had water and sewer bill late fee forgiveness request. Reviewed it, and, in the past, we don't forgive it, especially when it has something to do with either something else, the post office, what have you, so just need a motion. I think we should deny it like you have in the past.
was that on the thing where the people got raised a lot for their bills? And then we were trying to figure it out? Is that
Just a late fee.
just a late fee?
Just a late-
Because they were just purely late.
Yeah,
They just wanted.
Okay.
we looked at it, we haven't in the past, so we were just gonna continue that.
Service.
And we need to
So
address
do we
that,
have-
Amy, right? We just do a motion and.
Yeah,
Do we have to do the motion in the positive and then vote it down?
No, that we're. gonna
no,
deny it.
you can phrase the motion any way you want to. But so if you want to say, motion to deny a request for,
Right.
you can phrase it in that way.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you want to make the motion?
I mean, I guess I'm not really, I guess we want to deny the sewer late fee forgiveness request.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Okay. And we had a quote from the fire department. And rescue suits, they were, they have a need of purchasing 4 suits at $1,000 per suit. And
They are trying to get, historically, they've had suits repaired, but that company's gone out of business.
So I wonder, and I saw you wrote in here that did you look online or something?
I looked online, yeah.
So that was the only thing, that was my only thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I looked at the budget, they have money left in the budget. So, but then I thought, oh, we only have one, and I wasn't familiar with this name, so that makes
Yeah,
sense, they went out of business, the other company.
Yeah, and the suits that they have, I guess some of them are 10 years old or older, and I'm just trying to
So
imagine.
how many suits do we have? 10, you said?
We have 10, but 4
4,
of them
okay.
leak. And
So what's the lifespan of them? Do we know?
I actually tried to look and see if there was anything about that too, but
Do we know the last time we bought them?
It's pretty long, like
several
It's
years.
kind of-
So we need 4 new ones.
Right, several years then.
yeah, I didn't look to see when they purchased, but.
Yeah.
So we have 10 total though.
we have 10 now, but 4 are,
Leaking.
leaking. And they're gonna still try to find a place where they can get them fixed, to have them, because probably,
Where the rubber starts getting old.
yeah,
This is
I mean,
Good, so.
yeah. But these are definitely professional suits. They're only available to municipalities, and the average person cannot even buy these suits, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked and I thought they looked pretty good, but I'll make the motion that we buy 4 of these Mustang Ice Commander rescue suits for the fire department.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried. Okay, we're gonna go to the bills portion.
The bills, claims 2-1 through 263, totaling 176,386.26. General fund 100,305.59. Water 39,419.26, and wastewater 36,661.41.
Okay, do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Right.
Okay, approved.
So just with because I just, budget session dates, I emailed you guys, if you just let me know, and we don't have, it doesn't have to be at the 6:30 time frame. It can be at 4. I mean, we've done it before.
Yeah.
As early as 4, so if everybody just lets me know.
4 o'clock, 4:30 would be probably better than 6.
If those, because it's a
Okay, good for you.
couple hours, 2
You come to-
hours.
It's up to you if you want me to come to the
For the
budget,
budget.
or no,
I mean,
yeah, I can't add much.
Yeah, it's not very contentious.
But
At least.
I'm
5 o'clock would be better than 6:30,
Just-
4:35.
Just
That's
email
what I
me
was
back.
thinking. 4.
Yeah.
Everybody email me back.
Yeah.
With their, just use that thread that I sent, you can email me back.
I'm a 4:35, it's good for me.
Right.
Rather get done early and get out of here.
But it's the 5th and, so the 5th and the
5th and
12th
12th right
Is that a
now.
Thursday?
Thursdays,
That's fine.
yeah.
The 12th might be, I'm trying to get away for whatever, 12th might be fine, but see what the other two.
We'll see what
or
we,
three.
we'll talk to, later, we'll talk to Rich and Phil, okay?
Yeah. So.
All right,
Then we have to make a motion to go into executive session.
yeah, talked about litigation.
Yeah,
That's just with us guys, right?
yeah. Will Phil, will the 2 on Zoom be part of it?
they can participate in the discussion if, yeah.
Once all the people are gone.
Yes.
So I'm gonna send a separate link out to them, to their emails, so it'll be a separate Zoom meeting. Cause
Good
I
idea.
can't clip this, so
Oh,
Right,
this will stop and I'll have a separate Zoom meeting and then I'll
Okay.
see once it starts.
okay,
I got you.
Kevin, are you gonna text that to us or email?
No, it's email. to your-
Okay.
your email.
Thank you.
Okay, so Kathy, are you making a
So
motion?
then I'll make a motion that we go enter executive session.
for the purpose of
For
discussing
the
litigation.
purpose of discuss, for the purpose, she said. discussing litigation.
Second,
You second, or you want me to? Second.
all in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Okay, we're in.
Alright.
Shut down this.